Here are my top travel tips for things you don't want to do in Puerto Vallarta. If you visited Puerto Vallarta in the past, or anywhere in Mexico, but have only stayed at an all-inclusive resort, it's time to venture into the real heart of the city. This is where Puerto Vallarta really shines. There are just too many great places to stay in the lively local neighborhoods. And this is what separates Puerto Vallarta from other places in Mexico like Cancun, Playa del Carmen, and Los Cabos. While there are lots of choices for all-inclusive resorts, in my opinion, Puerto Vallarta is such an accessible city to experience the local culture here with so many great restaurants and bars throughout town. You'll really miss out on all of the flavor if you go the all-inclusive route. Not to mention, it's going to be a lot cheaper. Head to El Centro or the Zona Romantica. There are some hidden gems and unique places to stay in these areas, all among the cobblestone streets with authentic architecture. Staying in a small boutique hotel is the best way to experience the vibe and the energy of the historic center of the city. You'll be steps away from food that is 100 times better than anything you can get at a resort. You can discover all the local attractions, markets, scenery, and all the best experiences that would otherwise go unnoticed within the confines of a resort. Plus, you still have a range of options from budget-friendly properties to the most luxurious or anything in between. If you need help choosing a smaller boutique hotel, I recently made a video of the 4 hotels I loved staying at in downtown Vallarta. I also have more information on places to stay on my travel blog. Also, book as early as you can. Puerto Vallarta is becoming more and more popular, so book your accommodations as far in advance as possible. Alright, let's talk money in Puerto Vallarta. You're going to want to use pesos, and the best place to get pesos is at an ATM. You don't want to use the ATM you find at the airport. There's tons of them around town. You want to look for an ATM that's attached to a bank. Don't use the ones that are like randomly on a street corner right beside a store. Use ones that are attached to a bank. And also, you want to look for the ATMs that have a fee of less than 35 pesos. Some of them charge as much as 80 pesos. Just shop around for one that has 35 pesos. And also make sure you decline the conversion rate on the screen. Otherwise, you'll get double charged from both your bank and the ATM itself. Also, a lot of restaurants you'll notice are cash only, so you definitely want to have enough pesos on you. Some of the bigger, more touristy restaurants will take credit cards, but basically just assume that most places are going to be cash only. Use your pesos here in Puerto Vallarta. At the airport, after you pass through immigration and customs, you'll exit through the Shark Tank. This is a corridor before you exit the actual airport. It's full of timeshare salesmen, so don't talk to anyone until you exit the glass doors. Also, taxis from the airport are quite expensive. You can save a lot of money by taking an Uber or a non-airport taxi. To do this, when you exit the airport, turn left and walk towards the orange pedestrian overpass. Cross that, and the Uber taxi pickup zone is right along this street. And there's ramps on both sides to easily roll your luggage up and down. If you do take a taxi elsewhere in town, prices can be on par with Uber, but don't forget to confirm the price of your ride before you get in. Otherwise, you might be in for a surprise at the end. Both Puerto Vallarta and the state of Jalisco are known for incredible, flavorful food, and the best part is that it's still inexpensive. Don't be afraid to try the street food. It's so good. If you're not sure where to go, join a walking food tour and you'll learn so much. Or just find a food stand that has lots of locals eating there, and someone who cooks and someone separate who handles the money. Some foods and dishes I recommend trying are tacos al pastor, made with thin slices of marinated pork that are skewered and cooked on this vertical rotisserie called a trompo. You'll see these all over town. And they're typically topped with pineapple, onions, and cilantro. Definitely try birria tacos for breakfast. These are tacos made with meat that's been marinated and slow cooked until it's incredibly tender. It's also served with a side of consommé, which is a flavorful broth made from the cooking juices of the meat. There's enchiladas, there's chilaquiles. These are an appetizing dish that consist of cooked crispy tortillas that are lathered in either red or green sauce, usually served with eggs on top or meat. With all this food, just dive right in. It's going to be messy, but that's part of the ritual. so good. You're obviously going to be eating all kinds of great, authentic Mexican food. And the cool thing about it is that this type of food is meant to be drowned in all the different salsas. You want to use like 2, 3, 4 different types of salsas if you want. They all make their own different kinds. They're so good, they're so unique. However, some are not spicy at all, some have a little bit of a kick to it, and some are like extremely deathly hot. Oh my God. So what you want to do is you want to take a little dab, put it on the back of your hand and try it if you're not sure which ones are spicy or not. So this is tuba. You'll find vendors all over the Malecon. This is a really awesome local drink. It's like a bit of coconut water and apple cider vinegar, and we've got like apple chunks and I think maybe a little bit of pineapple. Very refreshing, 25 pesos.
Another refreshing drink is agua fresca, which is basically sweet fruit water. 2 of the most popular flavors are Jamaica, which is hibiscus, and horchata, which is like a cinnamon vanilla rice milk. Puerto Vallarta is home to some of the most glowing and captivating sunsets you'll ever see. You can view them from the beach, the Los Muertos Pier, or if your budget allows, visit a rooftop restaurant or bar for even more stunning views. This is La Capella in Gringo Gulch.
Another thing is that you don't need to know any Spanish when visiting Puerto Vallarta. There is a lot of English spoken here, so no need to worry. However, a little goes a long way. So if you do make an effort to say, hola, gracias, por favor, little words like that, it does go a long way. Chances are you'll probably get better service, maybe even a free shot of tequila. Another thing you want to do is keep your small change. So keep those 5 and 1 and 2 peso coins that you get, because if you do need to use a public bathroom, you do have to pay for them. They usually range anywhere between 7 and 10 pesos.
Here's a pro tip though, if you do need a free bathroom, across from the Malecon where the arches are, you'll find the town hall. Inside, the washrooms are free of charge during business hours. Don't be alarmed by the number of farmacias. You'll notice that they're everywhere. Here you can purchase medications, over-the-counter medicine, personal care products, and sometimes snacks and drinks. If you're looking for a certain medication or prescription, do shop around because prices vary. Also, don't be alarmed when the pharmacists try to sell you other things that you don't need. The buses run frequently in Puerto Vallarta and are an extremely inexpensive way to get around town, as well as other places outside of the city, like Boca or Bucerias. They do take off pretty quickly after you board, so try and grab a seat right away.
So the buses here are a little bumpy, but don't worry about it. People here do it every day to and from work, so you can handle it. They go every 30 seconds, so you can't miss one.
And behind the driver, there's usually 2 or 4 yellow seats. These are reserved for the elderly, people with limited mobility, and pregnant women. It's also good manners to say gracias to the driver when you exit. This brings me to the next point. Don't stay in Puerto Vallarta the whole time. Opportunities for day trips are endless. Whether you want hidden beaches, sleepy fishing villages, mountain adventures, hot springs, hiking, or historic towns, you've got so many options. Check out my video series or blog posts that feature 14 unique day trips from Puerto Vallarta. And finally, don't forget to enjoy and have an amazing holiday. Puerto Vallarta is an extremely welcoming and friendly city. If you've never been before, you're going to fall in love. If you'd like to watch more, I have a whole playlist featuring all kinds of videos on the Puerto Vallarta area. Let me know in the comments if you've booked your next trip. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.